Hey everybody, Wendy Klinke here. If you're new to this, I took the Elon Musk Doge deferred resignation package. So I basically have 7 months severance, and I'm going to be an ex-federal government employee. And instead of trying to go find another job working for somebody else, my goal is to build my passion project or side business from roughly $1,000 revenue a month to at least $8,000 revenue a month between now and when the severance runs out, which is 9/30/2025. So each day I'm giving kind of an update on what I'm doing to push the business forward, etc. So I've talked a lot in previous videos about having a paint party business and doing craft fairs and, hands-on crafting makers events. The other side of what I do is I have a yard card business, and that's those big, like 15-foot wide happy birthday signs that, people get in their yards, or graduation signs or whatever. We custom put them together and then take them down. It's a rental. And, one of the keys, like the big expense in that business is the different pieces of the cards. We call them flair. And then having sets and words and letters. Like letters are important so you can spell stuff out. I was interested in purchasing, some more inventory. There was a woman selling her business on Facebook Marketplace, and I reached out to her after seeing her ad. And we talked a little bit, and then all this Doge stuff kicked in, and I realized, I really need to conserve my cash right now because, there's pending government shutdowns, or if for some reason this thing isn't legit, now is not a good time to drain the coffers. And I kind of have I like to have emergency funds floating around, and I like to have lots of little pockets or nice pockets of money in different accounts. It makes me feel more comfortable and more secure. So I was like, I don't feel comfortable right now outlaying cash, so I'm going to have to decline, and I'm sorry. And I was kind of bummed because I was like, I really don't want somebody else locally buying the business and then, there being more competition. But I said, yeah, okay, it's going to be what it's going to be. That was weeks ago. So then 2 days ago, she calls me up or texts me and it's like, hey, yeah, I just really need to get rid of this stuff. It's in a storage unit. I'm paying for it. And do you want to just take it? I'd hate to throw it away. I was like, what? I was like, I can't pay though. You're okay with that? She's like, yeah, no, I'll just give it to you. Which was amazing. So I went and picked up several $1,000s worth of yard card equipment this morning for free. So that was like a big win. Now, it's not like you just go in and you load it in your car and you're done. I mean, it's like lots and lots and lots of stuff. So it took us at least an hour to get everything loaded up. And then the car was completely full to the gills. Like the only place left to put stuff was I'd have to sit on it. The car was so full. I mean, packed all the way to the interior roof. And I have I have a third row in my SUV, so it's not a small one. It's not enormous, but it is good sized. It's designed for hauling stuff. We filled it completely full, and then she had to put the last little bits in her car. So it was an amazing haul, and I'm so grateful to her. Like, wow. So I spent my afternoon or early, unloading all the stuff from my car, kind of figuring out roughly what we have, getting some of it put away, and then just shoving the rest of it in my garage. There's so much of it that I was like, I'm going to need to rethink how the garage actually is laid out. Because, if you're too crowded, it's really hard to work and to do the design stuff. And I want my helper Sam to come see all the stuff too, because she's been taking such a great active role in working with the stuff that, it makes sense instead of just throwing it in there and her not knowing about it, having her be part of the setup process, and then going through and deciding what pieces we need and what we don't. And then, optimizing the layout since she's doing a lot of the labor on it now. Thank goodness. I'm so grateful for her. She's amazing. She wants to go off and do something else for a living eventually. And I'm like, you want to just grow with me in this business? And yeah, that's okay. I'm going to let her do her thing, but I adore her. She's amazing. I have to say, having good help is so important. And so if you're ever thinking, if you don't have help or you're kind of afraid of doing it, like, start small. I advertised in a local moms group, said, hey, I need a teenager who can drive, who has their own car. It needs to be an SUV, who's willing to do XYZ. And at first it was like, I just got to train people how to do this one thing. So Sam was sort of the first and most eager one to show up. And I was like, all right, that's an initiative. That's a good start. And so for a while, we just did that. We did the stuff side by side, and I trained her. And then I was like, hey, you want to start doing some design too? So we talked about that, and I worked with her on that. And now I was like, all right, you ready to design on your own? She's like, yeah. And it's like, so I let her kind of do the thing. I get a sense of like her ability, and then I throw her some more. And it's a great way, like, especially because I have trust issues. A lot of us have trust issues. And it's like, she keeps like just killing it and doing great. And I'm like, all right, how about this? Well, do you want to do this? Well, how about this? You want to do this? And just keep thinking of tasks for her. So, the other weekend, I was like, would you be willing to put on a witch costume and come to a slime party with me? And she was like, yeah. And I was like, okay, love you. You're amazing. I know I started the conversation about getting the free yard card stuff and all that, but it made me really realize how much I appreciate having help. And, I see some of my peers talking about being just terrified of hiring someone. So start with small tasks. I mean, I'm at the point where pretty soon I might be like, hey, I'm prepping for this fair and I know you're going to be there helping me. This is what I want to do. You want to come help get those things set up for me? And again, because I'm working with teenagers, I pay them accordingly. Like, I don't need to pay them the equivalent of a 6-figure salary. I can pay a bit above minimum wage, and it feels like a good deal because it's kind of fun and easy and relaxed instead of like, I don't know, working for McDonald's or whatever. So that's kind of where I'm going. And I love teenagers because they're kind of, if they've got the right head on their shoulders, you can train them up to be whatever. And, they don't have a lot of needs. They live at home with their parents. They're fed. They don't have to worry about making rent. But my hope is that I can build working relationships, I should say, with a handful of people who can maybe grow into the company as I grow. I mean, I know at some point I'll have to actually consider hiring people in a different capacity, but this is really new territory for me. But so far it's just been so wonderful. And it was a desperation move for me. Like, when I was doing the yard cards, I was doing 3 to 4 hours a night, every night this summer in like 90-degree heat, full menopause body, and undiagnosed, untreated high blood pressure. And let me tell you, I was like, this job is going to kill me. And so I feel like hiring her kind of physically saved my life, gave me a little bit of my life back because my stress levels were so high. But now that I've done that, I can see the benefits of having a trusted helper and person that you can rely on and, happily, gladly, joyfully pay to make you a more efficient, better business. So those are my thoughts for the day.